All right, let's check out these Flybird dumbbells. They adjust up to 55 pounds. I'm gonna be comparing them to the PowerBlocks, which go up to 45 pounds. I've had those for over 20 years. I have nothing else to compare them to. Yes, they were given to me 100% free, but I'm gonna give you my honest thoughts and opinions to see if they're right for you. So let's get into it. Okay, so the price of these things, I believe, is $399. I believe shipping's included. If not, I'll put a correction right here. The difference between these dumbbells and those PowerBlocks is that the way they adjust is they have this center spin, which goes all the way from 15 pounds, 25, 35, 45 to 55 pounds, versus the PowerBlocks, which have just this tab system on the side where it's color coded. And then what you do, that was at 45 pounds. So if I wanted to adjust to 30 pounds, I would just find the tab that's yellow, place that there, and then you would see here, that's how they come apart. So the PowerBlocks are definitely a heck of a lot more compact than these Flybird adjustable dumbbells. So let me show you the difference on how they come apart. I'm gonna start off with the 15 pounds. Now I'm gonna start picking them up, and you can see how they come apart. They basically use these discs that are made out of part plastic, part metal, and it's essential that you have this plastic piece here, which I'll show you in a second on how these come apart. So let's go ahead and compare the footprint versus the PowerBlocks. So that's 15 pounds versus a full PowerBlock that's at 45 pounds. So you can definitely see that the footprint is a lot bigger. This may have some cons, especially when you're working out.
So here's an example as I'm doing flies. Now, as long as you're doing the flies and you hold the weights parallel, there isn't any issues. But as soon as you twist them and you're trying to do a different style, you can see, like, for me, my length of arms, it is kind of abrasive. You got to get used to it and you got to adjust for it. So that could be a con.
Okay, so the main purpose of adjustable dumbbells is to save on space. Most people really want is a set of dumbbells like these, completely available for the taking. The only problem is, generally if you're working out at home, you only have so much space. You can see I got a lot of space packed on one side of my garage. So adjustable dumbbells are gonna work better for me. But you can see here's the 45-pound PowerBlocks, and here's my other ones that go up to 90. And I'm gonna show you briefly the difference in what you're getting for a 55-pound dumbbell versus a 90-pound dumbbell. Now, obviously, the PowerBlocks are significantly more in price. I believe these go up to about $900 now versus these Flybirds, which go, I think, for $400. So, but that's the main reason why you would want adjustable dumbbells. Okay, so ultimately, at first glance, I'm pretty sure everybody has picked up that these take a really big footprint. So if I'm just sitting here and I'm doing curls, right, you can see if I'm just doing one hand curls, I really have to make an effort in order to move my hand outward in order to adjust for the dumbbell swinging, so I can get it parallel to the other dumbbell as I'm doing this workout. So the disadvantage of the way that these are constructed is you can see that it takes a tremendous amount of space in order to do that. What I wish I could have seen from Flybird is, depending on the situation, maybe made the handle just a little bit smaller. My hands aren't the biggest. I'm only 5'10". I weigh about 230 pounds. But you can see there's an additional amount of space there, which could have been shrunken down in order to save on the footprint, so I don't have to worry about that when I'm doing my workouts. However, I understand if you're a real big person and you got big old hands, this is gonna work. But my theory is that you're probably gonna want dumbbells that are a little bit more than 55 pounds. So now, as to the PowerBlocks, you can see the difference. And another thing is the footprint is it makes it feel more, I don't know, more user-friendly when I'm doing just the old school style of workouts, doing some curls for the girls. You can see that, I don't really have to do too much outward turning to get the dumbbell into the position that I want it to be in. So that's something serious that I would consider before I purchase these. Okay, let's take a look at the quality. Well, they did do some good jobs in explaining what you're getting, pounds versus kilograms. The whole thing does feel very plastic. It needs this plastic stand here because if you see that tab right there, that tab is instrumental in making sure that the dumbbells come apart, which is good for the safety because as you can see here, it is not on this plastic stand, so I cannot unlock the dumbbell. So as I place it on there though, that tab engages and that's what allows me to spin the handle. Taking it apart, let's take a look at the plates themselves. So this plate, it's very solid. I can't complain about that. It definitely feels like it's a metal coated in some type of plastic, all right? So you can see there's this little triangular shape that guides in where you're gonna lock the plate in place. And this is how they all work. To me, this thing feels roughly close to maybe 6 pounds. I couldn't tell you exactly, but it is designed so that you can have a total of 8 of these, or excuse me, 10 of these. Sorry, excuse me, there's an 8 total of these, so you can get up to that 55-pound threshold. So as the handle sits as itself, the smallest weight it does have is 15 pounds. I don't know if that's exactly ideal. If you're beginning and working out, you probably want to have something that gets all the way down, maybe to 2.5 pounds. And the other thing is too, you have to be very precise when you put these things back together in order to get your adjustments. So you can see with the here, PowerBlocks, if you look very carefully, these ones will go down to 10 pounds. Now, there are different models. You can see here, these ones only go down to 15 pounds, but there are different models out on the market of many different adjustable dumbbells. I believe Bowflex makes some. I'm pretty sure PowerBlock does adjust down. Flybird does not yet have a model that goes down below 15 pounds. So that is something to consider. The one thing I have noticed about them being so big is that I guess you can do a good amount of, I don't know, calisthenic style dumbbell workouts. They are a little difficult to use if you wanted to hold them by the weight themselves. You have to hold them down here. It is 100% possible. I guess you could do goblet squats with them. But as far as holding them, it doesn't exactly work as well if you were to use an independent dumbbell, such as these, which are hex rubber coated. It just doesn't feel just as good. So that's something to consider there. Mind you, it is difficult. I'm pretty sure there are other adjustable dumbbells on the market. You will pay significantly for the feeling of an independent dumbbell system like that, and they will save you space, but they are pretty expensive. So the flip side of that is that these PowerBlocks, it's similar because I can't really do, I guess I can. These are older style. I'm not exactly sure how the new styles are, but if I were to do goblet squats, I can do these goblet squats, but it still just doesn't feel the same as if it was an independent dumbbell system. So that is the major problem with adjustable dumbbells. You don't have as many options or choices with feelings on how you like to work out. You're kind of having to use your imagination to see what's gonna work and fit you when it comes to these. So that's something to consider. Now, if you do get a set of independent dumbbells all the way up to about 55 pounds, these are gonna cost you about probably 1,200 bucks, and who knows how much now with the whole trade environment. So the other thing is too, it's gonna take a significant amount of space. Side by side, you can see the difference in the PowerBlocks space-wise. And when it comes to these Flybird adjustables, yes, the Flybirds go up to 55 pounds. These PowerBlocks only go to 45 pounds, but let's talk about the differences in the systems when it comes to switching out the weight. All right, the Flybirds, on the other hand, as I said before, they only go down to 15 pounds, and what you do is you twist the handle. So a little orange slot here, that's gonna show you exactly how much you're picking up. So I'll go ahead and just set it for the lowest, which is 15, and then you can see that's how the weight comes out. Mind you, you need to have this plastic piece no matter what in order for it to work out, or for it to do that. So here you go, I'm shaking it around so you guys can see that these are not gonna move. So let's go up one more weight. Let's go to the 25 pounds. It will not come undone. And the reason why is because of this little plastic mechanism. It's spring loaded. That's what needs to be pushed up on both sides here in order for you to be able to spin the handle. Now on the inside, I've seen a few videos out there where these are made of plastic gears. So those plastic gears are designed to keep the production costs down and also probably save on material and the weight. The only issue is I don't know how long they're gonna last. My PowerBlocks here I've had for over 20 years because it's real simple. It's just metal clicking in and clicking out. These use a gear system that's made out of plastic. So only time will tell how long these will last. Something to consider there. The PowerBlocks, color coded right here from 10 all the way up to 45 pounds. And also, depending on if you want to just use this itself, which is the handle, this handle goes to 4.5 pounds. All right, now you can see what I just did. This is how they change. And all you have to do is match the color. So if I want 25 pounds, I put the pin system right below the green. It has a magnetic catch. And then from there, what I do is I pick up the PowerBlocks, and you can see that the other plates stay right where they are. So that's a cool added plus. You don't really need a stand for these, but there are some hang-ups if you're trying to go fast. You can see I just switched that and I missed the pin. So you want to consider that. All right, so as it stands right now, these are gonna run $389. Shipping is included. Flybird does have them sold out right now, so you're gonna have to wait around for these. PowerBlock, the comparison that I found, these were the Elite 50s. So once again, I can't find any PowerBlocks that go to 45 pounds like these. These are gonna run you about $415 with free shipping. So that's not including the tax. And that's just as it stands on the market right now, minus what's going on with the trade wars. Well, I hope you found this information useful. I've got the links down below for both of these products. I don't get any commission whatsoever on either one of these. I was just happy to do a review, tell you my honest thoughts on these Flybird dumbbells, and also showing my PowerBlocks. In my honest opinion, and this is a little biased because I've had these PowerBlocks for over 20 plus years. I know how to use them. I'm very familiar with them. I know how to do a quick switch workout if I need to. I've also got the 90-pound dumbbell set. They're a great space saver. The Flybirds are a great space saver as well. The only thing is I've just started really getting used to working out with them. If you need to save 30 bucks, Flybird will work for you. Just be conscious of the fact that you're limited to 55 pounds on the high end, and you're also limited to 15 pounds on the low end. They don't get any lower than that. The PowerBlocks go super low, down below 5 pounds to 4.5. They do have a different feel because the PowerBlock, your hand goes inside of it. The Flybird is more of a traditional dumbbell style where your hand goes in there and you have access to everything as well. They do feel a little bit more like that traditional dumbbell. However, they are a lot longer, as you've already seen by the footprint. If you guys like this video, go ahead and share it, like it, subscribe it. You guys know what to do. I have a ton of other workout products in this playlist right here. And then also, I've got some good recaps of some other workout equipment right here. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.